When I was 5 years old, a car pulled up in front of our house in New London, Connecticut, and a Navy officer rolled down the window and shouted at my father that the Japanese had bombed Pearl Harbor. My father immediately left for the submarine base where he was stationed as commander of a United States submarine. I rarely saw him again for 4 years. My grandfather, who commanded the fast carrier task forces in the Pacific under Admiral Halsey, came home from the war exhausted from the burdens he had borne and died the next day. In Vietnam, where I formed the closest friendships of my life, some of those friends never came home to the country they loved so well. I detest war. It might not be the worst thing to befall human beings, but it is wretched beyond all description. When nations seek to resolve their differences by force of arms, a million tragedies ensue. The lives of a nation's finest patriots are sacrificed. Innocent people suffer and die. Commerce is disrupted. Economies are damaged. Strategic interests, shielded by years of patient statecraft, are endangered as the exigencies of war and diplomacy conflict. Not the valor with which it is fought, nor the nobility of the cause it serves can glorify war. Whatever gains are secured, it is loss the veteran remembers most keenly. Only a fool or a fraud sentimentalizes the merciless reality of war. However heady the appeal of a call to arms, however just the cause, we should still shed a tear for all that is lost when war claims its wages from us. I am an idealist, and I believe it is possible in our time to make the world we live in another, better, more peaceful place, where our interests and those of our allies are more secure, and American ideals that are transforming the world, the principles of free people and free markets, advance even further than they already have. The United States did not single-handedly win the Cold War. The Transatlantic Alliance did, in concert with partners around the world. The bonds we share with Europe in terms of history, values, and interests are unique. Americans should welcome the rise of a strong, confident European Union as we continue to support a strong NATO. The future of the transatlantic relationship lies in confronting the challenges of the 21st century worldwide, developing a common energy policy, creating a transatlantic common market tying our economies more closely together, addressing the dangers posed by a revanchist Russia, and institutionalizing our cooperation on issues such as climate change, foreign assistance, and democracy promotion. We should start by ensuring that the G8, the group of 8 highly industrialized states, becomes again a club of leading market democracies. It should include Brazil and India, but exclude Russia. Rather than tolerate Russia's nuclear blackmail or cyber attacks, Western nations should make clear that the solidarity of NATO from the Baltic to the Black Sea is indivisible, and that the organization's doors remain open to all democracies committed to the defense of freedom. We have incurred a moral responsibility in Iraq. It would be unconscionable. It would be an unconscionable act of betrayal, a stain on our character as a great nation, if we were to walk away from the Iraqi people and consign them to the horrendous violence, ethnic cleansing, and possibly genocide that would follow a reckless, irresponsible, and premature withdrawal. Our critics say America needs to repair its image in the world. How can they argue at the same time for the morally reprehensible abandonment of our responsibilities in Iraq? Those who claim we should withdraw from Iraq in order to fight al-Qaeda more effectively elsewhere are making a dangerous mistake. Whether we're there before or not is immaterial. Al-Qaeda is in Iraq now, as it is in the borderlands between Pakistan and Afghanistan, in Somalia, and in Indonesia. If we withdraw prematurely from Iraq, Al-Qaeda in Iraq will survive, proclaim victory, and continue to provoke sectarian tensions that, while they have been subdued by the success of the surge, still exist, as various factions of Sunni and Shia have yet to move beyond their ancient hatreds and are ripe for provocation by Al-Qaeda. Civil war in Iraq could easily descend into genocide and destabilize the entire region as neighboring powers come to the aid of their favored factions. I believe a reckless and premature withdrawal would be a terrible defeat for our security interests and our values. Iran will also view our premature withdrawal as a victory, and the biggest state supporter of terrorists, a country of nuclear ambitions and a stated desire to destroy the state of Israel, will see its influence in the Middle East grow significantly. These consequences of our defeat would threaten us for years, and those who argue for it, as both Democratic candidates do, are arguing for a course that would eventually draw us into a wider, more difficult war that would entail far greater dangers and sacrifices than we have suffered to date. I do not argue against withdrawal any more than I argued several years ago for the change in tactics and additional forces that are now succeeding in Iraq. Because I am somehow indifferent to war and the suffering it inflicts on too many American families, I hold my position because I hate war. And I know very well and very personally how grievous its wages are. But I know, too, that we must sometimes pay those wages to avoid paying even higher ones later on. I run for president because I want to keep the country I love and have served all my life safe, and to rise to the challenges of our times as generations before us rose to theirs. I run for president because I know it is incumbent on America, more than any other nation on earth, to lead in building the foundations for a stable and enduring peace, a peace built on the strength of our commitment to it, on the transformative ideals on which we were founded, on our ability to see around the corner of history, and on our courage and wisdom to make hard choices. I run because I believe as strongly as I ever have that it is within our power to make in our time another better world than the world we inherited. Thank you very much.